Right.
A ring comes with a receipt.
Yeah, exactly. And you can give it back and you can...
Give it to the next bitch. Hey, I'm Wayne.
And I'm Daniela, and this is Houxwife.
So I think we need to talk about engagement first.
Mm-hmm. Starts with a ring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How important that is to the female.
Mm-hmm.
For you, in this relationship, how important was being engaged to you?
Important. I feel like, obviously, I feel like I wanted it, but important, like, to our relationship, I think that we already had a very solid relationship prior to the ring.
But is it something that you always dreamed of and held like very high in your list of things when finding a partner? Like, does engagement have to be checked off the list before kid, or
I think when I was younger, yes.
or at a certain time frame? Oh, it's been X amount of months, X amount of years.
Okay, I feel like the younger me probably would have, like, I feel like I would have put all these, which I did, like, put all these things, like, I wanted a ring, or I wanted to be engaged before being married, before having a baby. Like, I felt like I had steps. And I feel like because growing up, we get put into, like, I feel like by society of, like, the proper way of doing things, or it has to be this way, or we have to be together for a certain amount of time, or if we've been together more than a year or 2 years and it hasn't happened yet, why hasn't it happened yet? Meanwhile, you could be having the best relationship in the world, but in the back of our heads, it's like, okay, why didn't I get the ring? Why didn't I? You start asking yourself all these questions. I think looking back now, I feel like that is definitely something that society, I feel like, placed on us, like that timeline, that it must happen this way, you know?
Yeah, I just know that society has a lot to do with the pressures that we feel in general about anything, right?
Because I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the engagement ring it's a cultural thing. I feel like a lot of other cultures don't, like, now I feel like it's gotten to that, but like back in the day, I feel like that was like more of an American, like, culture thing, like engagement rings.
Well, yeah, so to my understanding is that the engagement ring was an idea brought to life for jewelry sales, period, right? Like, they used propaganda to make it a thing.
Right.
So now it's a thing in
Right.
American culture.
And it's
so
trickled
yes.
to other cultures.
Yeah, for sure. So that's my understanding of it. But do you think that relationships are hindered by these pressures of engagement ring being such a burden or heavily weighted thing to prove commitment or prove, that this relationship is worth it or is gonna work?
If you get a ring versus not getting one?
Yes.
Yeah, I think when you really stand back and look at it, I feel like it's all in all in our minds. I feel like a ring is not going to prove that. I mean,
They're gonna say you're brainwashed.
no, I'm not. I have a ring. Brainwashed? Nothing. No. No,
They're gonna
because
be like, look at this bitch, she's
no,
brainwashed.
I'm not brainwashed at all.
Oh,
But looking back,
God.
like, or maybe they could say I'm saying it because I have a ring. But no, but I feel like,
Oh,
okay.
okay. Oh, yeah. Or you can look at it like that,
Yeah,
right?
but okay, so I have a ring, so I feel like I could speak on both having and
Sides?
not having.
No, you can't speak on both sides.
Yes, because
if we had a 6-year-old child,
and I didn't have a ring, I'd be pissed.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
So I'm a little biased maybe because
that's
I
what I'm
have one.
saying. So you can tell the people right now, oh yeah, it's all in your head because you have
No,
one.
no. I think you deserve to have one. If that's what
Who
you
deserves
want.
to have one? Don't tell the people false information. You deserved to have one. That's a whole nother conversation. But back to what we were talking about. Do you think that the significance of the ring is burdensome at some point for both male and female and hinders the relationship, or do you
Yeah.
think it's not? Is it just like an accessory to what you already have?
It could be both because I just feel like this is a hard question. It could be both because it's like it could be a burden because, like I said, what if you have the best relationship in the world and you're just not getting a ring? But then it's like, why aren't you just giving me a ring?
Okay, that's one scenario. Then another scenario is
I give you a ring, but we have the shittiest relationship in the world.
no. Okay, that's another scenario. But there's another scenario where a girl is so hell bent over a ring and gets it too soon.
That's what I'm saying. When
Then
you're
what?
not, right. When you're not even in a foundationally strong relationship with each other to
Yeah, so I feel like okay, so that brings me to my next question. Is there a right time?
no, like timeline, like a year, 2 years.
No, not it could in some people's head I feel like it is
That is, that's
that.
what I'm
It is
saying.
a
Some people put a
timeline.
time, an actual like time on it. I don't think it has anything to do with a time. I think it really has. I think it's a big commitment, and I think people don't realize how big of a commitment it is. I think that's what it really symbolizes.
Okay, that's what it symbolizes, but that's not what it really is. I think having a child with someone is way more of a commitment than a ring.
Agreed,
A
because
ring comes
you
with a
can't.
receipt.
Yeah, exactly. And you can give it back, and
Give it to the next bitch.
you could sell it and buy yourself something nicer.
You could report it stolen and commit some insurance fraud and get the
Don't
bag.
do that.
Do that.
Don't do that.
Thought about it.
Don't do that. Yeah, a kid is definitely more of a commitment, absolutely, because that's forever, and you can't give that back. You have to, whether you work out or not with each other, that kid's still there, so you're gonna have to deal with each other forever.
Yeah, I think that's the bigger commitment. So any guy out there who's contemplating like, oh, should I give the ring?
Yeah, but
Should
that's
I
the
not
funny
give
thing.
the
People
ring?
have kids easier than throwing a ring on someone. They
Yeah.
have to put more thought into throwing a ring on
Yeah,
someone. Like, why don't we think about having kids and really the effect of that versus a piece of jewelry, a material thing?
Yeah, no, people get cold feet about the rings, but
Right, but
they
they're
get,
so easy to just pop out kids.
yeah, and that's to me
That's scary.
far more a commitment than a ring of any sort.
Right, you're
That's
dealing with
even further to me than a marriage, an actual legit on paper marriage, because
that's a whole other topic. That's like
that too also
business deal in a sense.
yeah, but back to this ring thing. When I proposed to you, was it? What did it do for you emotionally?
Made me excited
Really?
and happy.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Besides it being pretty, I'm saying like
Yeah, but I felt like I already had the commitment part from you.
you were also pregnant at the time.
That's what it is.
But we feel like having a kid is more weighted than
Right.
in our minds.
Right.
We're
So for me, the
weighted
ring was
more
just like an extra piece of it, and just like I said, not like nice.
right.
What about wearing one? Do you think it? Because you don't wear a ring.
Hold on. Hold your fucking horses there, sister. Hold your horses. Get back in the kennel for a second. I think I need to explain what made me feel
Ready?
completely ready to actually propose.
Okay. It's a valid point.
Because there might be girls and guys, men and females, who feel like they don't know when to pull the trigger, or, you know,
If they should.
yeah. I think first of all, I want to say that I think even if a female says it's not important to them,
It's important.
I think
I think we're
that
brainwashed.
the gesture is definitely grandiose. Whether they, oh no, don't worry, we don't have to do that, or da 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 da. I just think it's already written in our childhood,
Heads.
yeah, brains, our subconscious, that they desire this sort of dream
Proposal.
esque proposal. And even if the mouth says, "Oh, we can pass on that," I think it's still something that the man has to do, be regardless of anything, just because it's just like making a dream come true for anybody, right?
Yeah, it's a special moment. It's a
Yeah.
special like memory that
Yeah, and as the man, it's like it's not as special for you, maybe some people, but for me, it wasn't as special. What was special for me is that I was able to make a dream come true for the next person, and that's what made it special to me. But for me, I think um, there's two parts to this. So the first part is uh, my woman absolutely entirely deserved more than an engagement ring at that point. I wasn't the best of guys, and she is just super solid at standing her ground and letting me know that she is with me unconditionally. Um, I couldn't reward her with I could reward her with anything in the world, and it wouldn't amount to the type of love and support that I felt from her. So getting her a ring was bare minimum for me. Um, and then that was before she even gave me a kid. After she gave me a kid, it heightened even more. So a ring to me was just very minimal. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a dollar amount and a purchase, right? Um, like anything else. To me, it's material, so it's not really that serious. Uh, so that was the reason it was so easy for me to get a ring, right? I think the commitment part, like you said, was already in my head.
Yeah.
So tying the ring to commitment wasn't really there for me. The commitment was already in my head. The ring was just like a gesture, an accessory at that point.
But what I'm saying is, in most cases, not most cases, but how we view it is the ring symbolizes commitment.
Yeah, that's how the world views it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Society or how everyone,
Yeah, how
for the most
society.
part.
Okay. Would you feel as secure in your relationship, amongst others,
Oh, if I didn't have a ring?
if you didn't have a ring to symbolize, oh, I'm with Wayne and
Right,
we're
like they have this
really
whole
a
life,
thing,
but they don't right. I'm not gonna
right?
lie, it would probably annoy me.
But would it
But
annoy you personally, or would it annoy you if the outside world kept asking you?
I think both. I think it would just annoy me, even though like no matter how like say secure I felt or like I knew that we had something real and that we had commitment to each other. I think it's just like the point of like yeah, feeling that pressure from everybody else. Like, why don't you have a ring yet? how come he didn't give you a ring yet? Oh, it's like
He
everyone.
must not be worth it.
Right. It's all these things that come with it. It's like, oh
Is
my
your
God.
cooking trash?
Right. Does he not want to commit to you for the rest of his life? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this piece of jewelry puts so much pressure on, it's kind of like, it's almost like it's telling your relationship, like, oh, you guys aren't that serious in our eyes.
And I personally know that it has that much effect, that
Yes.
much pressure. But I still didn't.
You didn't do it because of that?
I never weighed in the fact of
What it did to
I'm
me?
just gonna do it to shut these people up.
I feel like you should never do that just to shut people up.
No,
I mean,
you shouldn't.
yeah.
But I think there are people out there that are like,
Put it right,
all
that'll
right,
do
I
it.
just got to put an end to the talk and let me just do this.
Right.
Right? Like their back is against the wall. And I never was put in that position, or maybe I was, but I don't remember. But I just know that my actions were never
To shut society up?
yes.
Like,
Like it was never to be like, oh, let me quiet. My true intention at the top of it all was to please you.
Right.
It never was to be like, oh, so she doesn't have to hear the nonsense, or we don't have to hear about this. I was never worried about other people when I made these decisions. It was always like, I'm doing this for my wife, right? But like you said, the pressures of
everyone around
society forces you to feel like
it's not good enough.
I am not worthy if but now I've got the ring, but now the ring is too small. The ring is, he's worth more than that. How did
he buy her something so little? That's all he could afford?
Okay.
We're not talking about my ring, right?
No, I hope not. But back to what you were saying, yeah, I don't wear a ring. How does that affect you?
I think we kind of compromised around that because I know like you're not a jewelry person. Like he hates wearing jewelry. And
not that I hate it.
But it's not your thing. Like
it's just
you don't
not a
really.
part of my. It's just not a part of my.
Which I feel like for
persona.
most men they don't like it, and I feel like we kind of compromised. I mean, he got my date of birth tattooed on his ring finger, so it's like, okay, don't wear a ring. Like that's a symbol for me. Do I think it makes a difference though? Like does it change anything whether you have that or not? I think at this point I can say no.
This goes back to the last episode when I talked about putting your energy into whatever, you want to have weight in your life. And I just feel like having a ring, not having a ring,
it's not going to stop anything.
Wearing it or not wearing it will not stop the rub and tug.
Just shut up. It's not going to stop the nonsense, okay?
God.
You could be wearing a ring, your husband could be wearing a ring, and still going to do what he wants to do if that's what he wants to do, whether the ring is on or off. And sometimes the ring is even more of a attraction, I feel like, to attract women.
Puss magnet.
Basically.
So is a
oh, he's
little
married? Oh, that must mean he's got something to offer.
No, it turns on a switch in women to conquer the unconquerable.
Because I don't think it stops men either. Like if they see me wearing a ring, I mean, I've gotten approached
Hell
with
no,
a ring.
it don't. We'll be out.
People don't give a shit. That's like the ring is not about. Oh, the ring is not about if people are going to respect your marriage. The ring is really are you respecting your marriage? That's really what it is.
The ring is supposed to be for you.
Mm-hmm.
For you, and that's why.
What it means to you and what you're going to respect and not respect. It's not, other people aren't going to respect your marriage.
Yeah, but is it even really about the ring at that point?
No.
Because you have to have those concrete values before and after
No, because the ring is meant, like, for you wearing a ring, it's like you're out in the public and it's supposed to be for people to know, like, you're taken, really. But that's not going to stop people from approaching you if if they want to talk to you or not.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to
Doesn't
show
matter.
you. The ring symbolizes something to everyone else.
Yeah.
Because you don't need a ring for your brain to know that you're married.
Yeah.
It is a symbol to
For somebody
show
else. Yeah.
everybody else. You get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
like, for me, I just am not into the game of doing things to please others or to get some type of reaction out of others to make me feel better or indifferent about myself. Right? So, I just think that it can have negative effects and it can have positive effects, but really and truly, the symbolization or the symbolism is really tied to what is true internally. Should be tied to what's going on internally. And as long as you have the internal part figured out, a ring isn't needed. Oh, that's another thing. Am I like, oh, you left your rings home?
Yeah, sometimes I don't even wear my
you-
rings. Like,
You single? Going on the girls trip again? No rings? Like,
oh God, this girl's trip is gonna haunt.
but that's what I'm saying, right? Like, is it a thing for me?
It's fine.
Everything's fine. Set is falling apart.
Okay, it's fine.
It's fine. Nigga.
I'm crying.
Okay.
The symbolization of our marriage.
Oh, God.
Falling apart.
Falling apart. Oh,
You
shit.
stopped it?
That was crazy. No, I didn't stop anything. I didn't stop anything. Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
All right. So, advice for the people. How important is a ring? Is it an absolute must? Can you do without it?
Do you want me to answer that honestly?
Yeah.
I need it. I want it. Not I need it, I want it. I think that's
Yeah,
more
no
of what it
one
was.
needs
I wanted
anything.
it. I wanted it. Do I think that it symbolizes what we have? No, I think that you can't, again, like you can't, it's not real. Like it's just like a thing that I feel like society puts on us that that's what it symbolizes. But no, our connection and our relationship it's above a ring. But do I want it and I like it? Yeah, of course I do. Did it make me feel nice? Did it make me feel like, oh, you know,
I'm him.
we're a thing? Yeah, of course. I'm be lying to sit here and say, oh no, it doesn't, or you don't need it. No, you need it and you want it. I think it's more of a do something nice for your other person, like you said. But I don't think it defines. It does not define your relationship. That's what it is.
Well said. You gonna blow your nose?
No.
Go blow your nose. Go blow your nose. You're not gonna be sniffling through my whole fucking show.
Through my whole fucking show.